Yesterday we had the part that we just overlooked the basic structures that we took in the grammar and the form, meaning, and function in Unit 1. Now we're going to do the same thing with Unit 2. We have here also, we're going to just go back and see what are the basic points that we took in the grammar. We have here, we talked about the past, but specifically in the past we had, let's see here, yes. Now before we begin, we have the meaning and the structure. This is a part that we said that we have to focus on the meaning so we can build our structure correctly. After that, we have the 4 parts that we took. We took used to, we took be used to, would and was or were going to. So let's see here. We have here, these are the explanations that we passed by. We have the first part, which is used to plus the base form, which is an action repeated habitually in the past. And note that here we remove the D from used if the sentence is negative using did. Then we have the other one, which is be used to, which is a habit that can be in the past or now at the present time. And here the difference is that we have to remove the D if there is negative. We have also would plus the base form is an action that happened regularly in the past, which means that it is very close to used to here, and they are very similar in meaning. And we have the last part, which is was or were going to plus the base form, which is in the future or planning for the future but in the past. And note something very important, that all of these rules, they take the base form. Now we're going to see what we have here for exercises. First of all, let's just start with something light. We have here complete the sentences about yourself. You can use either I used to, or we have here I'm not used to. We have here when I was a child, I wouldn't, and so on. So actually I have my examples ready here. We have the first one. I used to play video games. Now here, if you can say that I used to play video games, it gives you the meaning that something used to happen, but it doesn't now. And note that we have here played is in the base form. We have the second one, I'm not used to speaking English all the time, but now I'm getting better. So we have here used to is with speaking English, which is formed as a noun. So we didn't use the past. And also we have here, when I was a child, I wouldn't sleep late. We can see that we have here wouldn't with sleep, which is in the base form. So this is speaking here, and we have here sleep. Now we're going to do the same thing with the other examples. We have here 100 years ago, people would, so which means that we're going to take it from a personal point of view to other points, but we're going to use the same rules. So we have, first of all, 100 years ago, people would, I can say, for example, travel on animals. My friend is used to, or used to participate in international competitions. And actually here, this is a good point. Why? Because we have here is used to. It gives you here the meaning that we have something that is habitually. So we're going to just change a little bit here and put, so we have here is used to. We're going to change a little bit in participate and remove this one and write, we have here turn it into a noun, is used to participating in international competitions. Or we can say, my friend used to participate. So this is a very good point just to make you focus on what do we have here. Do we have here just used to or be used to? So you can just choose, or you can correct the sentence as the meaning that you have. Then we have a number 3. My country didn't used to have a metro system, but now they do. And note here that because we have your negative, which is didn't, I have used to without the D. We have people in my city are used to driving in traffic, since we have the picture. We can say also, my first teacher would, note that we have here would in the sentence. So let's try something like we have here, play games with us. Play is in the base form. The students at my school are used to online work. And we have here, my grandparents didn't used to. We have here, the last one is going to be, okay, just a minute. We have here, yes, use smartphones. So we have here also use is in the base form. Moving on. Rewrite the underlined sentences with used to, be used to, or would. So here, actually, you can see that some of the sentences, they are all underlined. And we're going to change them using one of the following that we have here. But we have to focus on the meaning first and see what do we have so we can choose the correct form. The first one, when he lived in Riyadh, he often drove by Faisaliya Tower. So when he lived in Riyadh, it gives us the impression that he doesn't live now, something in the past. So actually I can put it into two structures. We can say when he lived in Riyadh, he often drove by Faisaliya Tower. And here you can see that I just used the past tense. Or when he lived in Riyadh, he often used to drive by Faisaliya Tower. So here, we have he lived, and he lived is in the past. But one time I used the past tense drove, which shows or indicates just the past tense, or we can say used to drive with the base form to indicate that something was habitual. The second one, Bobby felt lonely when his sister went to college. It felt strange not having her in the house. So Bobby here, he was used to his sister. He was used to having her at home. So the sentence, he was used to having her in the house. We can see that we have here having is in the sentence because we have here was used to. And then number 3, this coffee shop is where I studied when I was in college, which gives the past impression also. We have here 2 sentences that we can give. We can say either, yes, we have here, I used to study at this coffee shop when I was in college, or this coffee shop is where I would study when I was in college. So we have here would plus the base form. Moving on. He's much more materialistic now than he was when he was a teenager. Also, we have here 2 sentences that I can give, or just one here. We have here, he is much more materialistic now than he used to be when he was a teenager. Number 5, the cough was so persistent, after a while, she didn't even notice it. Also, we have here the whole sentence or the complete sentence. So we can say that something, she got used to it. It's like a habit now. So that's why we have here, we can say that the cough was so persistent, after a while, she was used to it. And the last one, when I was younger, I exercised rigorously. Do you remember this word, rigorously? Now I hardly exercise at all. So we have here, when I was younger, I can say either I would exercise rigorously, or we have here, when I was younger, I used to exercise rigorously. So here it's the same form, but one time I used would and the other time I used to. Now we have here these sentences also. Now this is a rather a cute exercise to do. We have here, we're just going to read it and see just one small mistake that we're going to correct. We have the first one. I would know her name, but now I can't remember it. You have to discover what is the mistake. I would know her name, but now I can't remember it. Now I can't remember it. So would isn't very suitable here. We're going to say that we have here would is wrong. In the past, I knew her name. So instead of would, I'm going to write I used to. The second one, they are used to live in a small place. They are used to live in a small place. We have here, we're going to say that we have here live is wrong. And we're going to correct saying what they are used to. It's a habit. It's something that they are familiar with. So we have here instead live, we're going to write here living. I were going to call my sister, but she called me first. I were going to call my sister, so this isn't very, it's not correct in the sentence, which means that were is going to be wrong, and instead of it, I'm going to say I was going to call my sister. After that, they aren't used to the cold weather, but they come from a warm climate. So we have here use here, it looks wrong here. It's not correct because we're talking about something that was a habit before. They aren't. So we have here used with a D. And then after that, when he was a child, he would studies very hard. Now actually we have here would in the sentence, and we said that would always takes the base form. So studies here is wrong, and we have the base form study. After that, we have number 6. Bill has lost a lot of weight. He didn't used to be thin. So here, there is something wrong here. We're going to just take the D out, and we have here didn't used to be thin. Just delete it. And the last one, I knew the radio wasn't going work. Here, something is missing from our sentence. So we have here, we're going to just add to. Wasn't going to work. Now moving on with our exercises here, we have the other part, which is the form, meaning, and function part, but we're going to do the same thing. We have here, we're going to just focus on the meaning in general, so we can give the correct structure for the sentence. Now, what did we take here? We had this exercise, if you can remember, that we had these sentences and we were asked to give the exact time. Now we put a tick on the examples that had or can. You can just give the exact time. Now you can see, for example, we have here 8 o'clock, last night, last week, and so on. The other part, which we cannot give the exact time, if you can see that we have here number 1, number 5, number 6, number 9, number 10, and number 12, there is in the sentence something else. We do not have the exact time, but we have the 2 helping verbs, which are either has or have. Now here, this one gave us the introduction for the present or the past simple, which we can use the helping verb did in the negative or in the question. And with it, we related the present. But what kind of present? Yes, the present perfect simple, which we said something started in the past and is still connected with the present time. And here in this part, we have the helping verbs either has or have because it is the perfect tense. And with this sentence or this rule, we discussed the question how long. And also we discussed have you ever. With how long, we said that if you're going to ask a question using or starting with how long, you're going to use in the answer to, either for or since. And we explained each one, what use do you apply. Yes, we have here, let's start with the exercises. Now the first one, write complete sentences using the present perfect. Now the present perfect, before we start, let's agree that since we have here the word present perfect, which means that I'm going to use either has or have plus the past participle. So it can be clear. Now the first one, we have here my cousin, which is singular. So which means that I'm going to put has. And we have here the verb buy has to be in the past participle, which gives us the sentence, my cousin has bought a house in Riyadh. My cousin, singular, has bought. Number 2, Samir began to study economics at college. So we have here Samir is singular also. And we have here begin is the main verb here. Turn it into the past participle, begin, began, begun. So the perfect tense for the singular is has. We have our sentence, Samir has begun to study economics at college. Then we have a number 3, we go shopping in the mall. We here is plural this time. And we have here go, we want the past participle. We have here go, went, gone. So our sentence is going to be, we have gone shopping in the mall. Then we have my parents. Parents is plural. And we have here live is a regular verb. We're going to just add ed for the past participle. So my parents have lived in Mecca for all their lives. Yes. Now here, this is a simple exercise. We're going to decide either to use either for or since in the blank. So it depends if you have an accounted period of time, which we can say 2 minutes, 3 days, 5 weeks, 15 years, whatever. It has to be just counted. You're going to use for. If it is a period mentioned, you're going to use the other one, which is since. It has been raining 2 hours. So we have here 2 hours counted, which means that we have here 4. Sana has lived in Jubel 1999. Here you don't just see a number and decide. You have to be aware what do you have here. Now I have a date, which is a period of time. So we have here since. Cook the fish 3 minutes. It's counted. So we have here 4. I haven't seen Huda last week, a period, which is since. We have been studying for exams Monday, a period. We have here also since. He has been sick 4 days. So we have here 4 days. After that, we have another one, which is also simple to apply. We have the basic structure here, which is how long. And from how long we can answer using either since or for. Now, all of these sentences we're going to answer using how long, but we are going to have, or we have to apply either the perfect tense in general, either using has or have. So we have here, they live in Jeddah. Now from they, I know that I'm going to use have. We have here live, and we have, I'm going to start the question with how long, and then let's see what we have here. Yes, I started with how long. And then yes, because it is plural, we have here have. Note, because this is a question, have becomes or comes in the sentence before the subject. So we have, generally, we can say that they have lived in Jeddah for 10 years. This is the statement. But the question says, how long have they lived in Jeddah? The second one, she. She is singular. So am I going to use either have or has? We have here has, of course. So we have how long has she worked in the school? Umar is singular. How long has Umar owned a supermarket? Tariq, be taxi driver. So we have here, how long has Tariq been a taxi driver? And note that we have here lived, we have work, we have own. They are regular verbs. We just added ed, but be is an irregular verb, so that's we have here, we changed it. Be is the base form. Then we have here either was or were. Of course, we have here is and are, and then the past participle for them all is been. You study English. How long? We have here the pronoun you. So what do you think? Do we use either has or have? Which one of them? You. The question is, how long have you studied English? Moving on. Okay, we have here circle the correct words. Now here, this exercise actually applies to the question, have you ever? So instead of just saying or repeating the same question, which is, have you ever done this? Have you ever been abroad? Have you ever tried something? We're going to just apply it in another way. And we have here, have you once or ever flown in a helicopter? Of course, the answer here is going to be, we have ever, yes. Noura has made 5 phone calls this evening. So still, we're in the evening, but so far, She has made 5 phone calls. So we have here so far. We have seen this film twice or never this year. So how many times did you see the film? We have here twice. I haven't finished my project yet or recently. I'm still working. I haven't finished. We have here yet. Have they already or lately closed the shop? I'm asking about the shop. Is it open or closed? Have they already closed the shop? The company hasn't been very successful recently or already. So we have here a company, it is working, but recently it hasn't or hasn't been very successful. Coming to the last exercise that we have here. Now we use each group of words to write 2 sentences. We're going to also form sentences, but one time we are going to form the past tense and the other time we're going to form the present perfect. Now, we agreed that we have here the present perfect has either has or have. And in the past tense, we're going to use did if it is negative or a question. But if you see the sentences that we have here or the parts, some of them don't apply unless it is in the past. So which gives you the ability to just take something out or some part out if you are forming the present perfect. So we have the first one, we make a donation to charity last Friday morning. In the past, we can say, we made a donation to charity last Friday morning. We have here made is in the past. But in the present perfect, we can say, we have made a donation to charity. Stop. So we have here have because that's plural and made is in the past participle. Make, made, made. Frank and James go sightseeing in China during their vacation in 2012. Also, I'm talking about something in the past. So I can turn it in the past simple saying, they went sightseeing in China during their vacation in 2012. They went. Or the past or the present perfect using the past participle. Go, went, gone. So we have Frank and James have gone sightseeing in China. After that, use each group of words to write 2 sentences. Use the present perfect for 1 sentence and the simple past. So we're still on the same exercise. We have here, I buy many books online this past year. Still, we have here the past. We have here past year. So the first sentence, I bought many books online this past year. Or in the present perfect, we can say, I have bought many books. So like make, made, made, we have here buy, bought, bought. Number 4, our teacher, Mr. Simpson, studied Arabic at evening classes 5 years ago. Ago gives also the impression that it's something in the past. So we have here our teacher, Mr. Simpson, studied Arabic at evening classes 5 years ago. We have here studied. Or in the present perfect, we have here our teacher, Mr. Simpson, has studied Arabic. We have singular, we chose has, and we have the past participle. So these are the parts that we took in or have taken in Unit 2. We passed by used to, be used to also. We passed by would, also was and were going to. We have here also the past simple, the present perfect tense. We asked questions using how long, and also we have here for and since. We know the difference between them, and we applied expressions and words that form with have you ever. So this is the part that we took in Unit 2. We have here, these are both lessons, the grammar, the form, meaning, and function. It's a good way to just revise and to refresh your memory, go back to the rules, apply them in sentences. And as you can see, they are simple sentences. They just need to concentrate and also to focus on the meaning. So you can just differentiate, what are you talking about? Is it past or is it in the present perfect?